I want to talk a little bit about what we're going through right now. The energies are shifting and changing, and over this last 2 weeks, I wouldn't even know the person I was 2 weeks ago to the person I am today, this very moment right now. My world has completely shifted and changed in such a way that so much has shown up. As you're allowing yourself to be more aware of this, you might find yourself a little bit spacey. You might find yourself a little bit like, wow, I just am like floating through my day. I just feel kind of spacey and out of it. These are great times to let you know that you're letting go of stuff. And also it's a great time, an indication that you need to ground. So when you're feeling that spaciness, it is very beneficial for you to ground and just allow that to happen, because our bodies are literally acclimating this new frequency that is here and now, that is shifting so quickly. Everything is shifting so quickly into a higher version of us. So as we are becoming more aware of our own existence, of what is taking place within ourselves, the universe is just matching it just like that. Like you are there, and whatever you are radiating out in your energetic field, that is just what's showing up on the exterior. At least that's what's happening in my world. And the synchronicities and everything that's showing up are just so much more profound and so much more powerful. My abilities have been heightening, and what I mean by that, because we all have abilities, and when you do attunements, and many people are discovering their own abilities within themselves, but they are heightening, they're shifting, they're changing. And so when people speak to me, I am feeling where that energetic is being. And a lot of labels, that's the one thing that's been really just like hitting me like a wall. When people speak labels and people speak those walls, they are speaking, it's like a label. Even like, to use this as an example today, Philip, when you were on, when you said 5D, that felt like a label, and it's all perfect. Oh, let me stop this as my dogs will come in. So as we're shifting into the paradigm of us, we're letting go of all the labels. And so that's why they're affecting me, because I'm letting them go. And as we're moving into a new version of us, you're going to know, there's just this knowing that the labels are shifting and moving as we are shifting and moving. So each one of your abilities are heightening. If you guys have been aware of that, have you been noticing that you're having your hearing has been more tuned in? You're having more, like, I want to say, like different tones coming in and out. At least that's what I'm experiencing. And these different tones, I feel like they're energetically changing and shifting us inside us, that there's a lot integration that is happening inside us with these integrations, but I also feel that they are multidimensional, that they are from other paradigms, and they are shifting and changing. And when you tune into them and you allow them to become part of you, there is such a great experience there. So when you are feeling your senses heightened, be aware of that. And just like the other day, I had an experience with my third eye, and it took me on a whole journey. Mother Mary came forward, and she literally walked me through the steps of my life that is coming forward. And so as you are walking through your experience, through your present day, and you're being more aware, your senses are heightening. All of your senses are heightening. So let me see real fast if we have any questions. If you guys want to, hey girlfriend, hey Diet, hey Philip, confirmed, right? And wow, thank you, Philip. That just feels so amazing. The energy that, we're all a piece to the whole. We are all doing this together. Truly, we all are doing this a piece together. So as we're, shifting into this new dimensional of us, it feels uncomfortable. It feels unfamiliar. It feels like, wow, I just need to hold on something and to hold on to this, because I feel like there's a big explosion happening within me. And that's literally what's happening with all of us. We're bursting into this new frequency of us, and it is emerging from the inside out. It is changing your DNA. It is changing your cellular structure. You are literally shifting into a superhuman, like a superhero if you choose. I feel that because we all have abilities. And with these new abilities that are heightened, each one of us have the same abilities, but I feel like we all have like different heightened abilities. So as these are all surfacing and you're paying attention, more aware, how do you do that? How do you be more aware? When you feel your sensory just start activating. When you feel something just start heightening. Like right now, my hands are becoming really, really hot. Like my hands are really, really hot. So there's some energy that is just really acclimating out my hands. Now with my hands comes the light language. So then I listen, you know what I mean? And then I allow whatever comes forward. So just like this. O ekinete selene ete. Asalene mo akaite selene ekine ete salene. And so as you're heightening your senses, your knowing, your intuition, and other senses that is taking place in your body, they will show up. Even in my Kundalini, what happens in my Kundalini, and that's really been heightening, is I feel this spinning effect in the bottom area where where I sit. When I sit, I can feel this whole spinning effect in like where my sexual organs are. I can feel that spinning, and then I can pull that energy up when I start connecting to it. And the Kundalini is a perfect energy. It's such a powerful energy source because it's part of us. But it's your fire source. It's your spark. It's your fire within you. And as that ignites, as that burns off, because the Kundalini, it literally ignites and your system heats up, and then it burns off a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared. And so the Kundalini, once you start working with it, is actually a very energetic power for you. We have, some people, they talk about fear with the Kundalini, and when you first experience the Kundalini, it is kind of scary because you start having these massive hot flashes, and they're stronger than hot flashes because they feel like they engulf you. And yeah, a hot flash does feel that, but it feels like it's coming from Mother Gaia all the way up and through you. It's like in your energetic body, it's in your emotional body, and it's in your physical body. So as you are allowing your senses to heighten, it's taking you to a new awareness that is happening here and now. Because what's happening is we're shifting away from the old. The old is still there, which a lot of people put that paradigm of the 3D. It's still there. It's still alive. And it's meant to. And there are people that are holding steady to that. But there are beings that are holding in the fourth energy to the third, from the fifth energy to the third, to the sixth, to the seventh, to the third. And they're holding these energies, and they are helping to create this wave, this bridge of our full expansion. So each person is doing their own physical growth and doing their own, they're doing it perfectly how they're doing it, because even the people that are sitting in the density of the 3D world, they're holding steady to that energetic being. They're keeping the 3D alive, which is meant to keep alive so we can merge across the rainbow bridge. So they're doing their part. Everybody's doing their part. And then all of us who are awakening, and with the awakening, I had to come to a realization because I'm becoming my multiverse being, and I'm working from many different realms. And because we're not just this physical experience that you see in the mirror before you. There's many of you having its own experience at the same time that you're having your own experience. Every time you will come to a place where you're making a decision in your life, say you make a decision in your life, well, your physical experience, because I choose to go towards my light, I'm physically experiencing that. But there are pieces of me that are not choosing the light, and they are physically experiencing that, and we're all doing it on these dimensional timelines. Well, as I grow into my light, these beings of me are growing also to their light. So as you are growing to your light, you are literally shifting and changing on your multiverse beingness. And I know this sounds like a lot, but it is, but it's not. It's just when you try to wrap your mind around it, it's just, yeah, don't wrap your mind around it. So as we're shifting and turning into this, your physical body, and I've talked about this a lot, your physical body is literally shifting and changing. You are literally shifting from the inside out. And I'm really, because my body over this last year has completely shifted into a different, it looks completely different. I've never held this type of body frame that I'm holding right now, not in this physical lifetime, but I have let all my shifting take place, and that's what's happening. And your body is shifting into a new awareness as itself. So as you are shifting, I'm really amazed how everybody's going to become such a much lighter version of themselves, because we're physically rebirthing and going through deaths and rebirthing and going through deaths, and through each one of these rebirths and going through deaths, you're letting off layers of yourself. You're leaving them behind. So as you're leaving them behind, there is another experience that's still moving forward in that experience, but as you are growing forward into your light, you are shifting and changing that experience. So I hope you guys understand some of this. So as we, hey Candle, hey everybody here, me too. Plus my body temperature has been rising. Actually, my body temperature too has been rising. I've been noticing that my body temperature, and it's like I go through different periods, that I went through periods that my body temperature was very cold, especially when I first started channeling Astron, who is from New Gaia, who is mother of all mothers in New Gaia. My body was really cold. Even when I channel Astron, my hands become cold. Even right now, they're turning kind of cold. And then the heat of me, wow, I just put like 2 and 2 together right now. Wow, I never thought of it that way before. And what the epiphany that I'm being shown right now is, like Mother Gaia, they're shifting in, because our heat and our temperature are very important to us. In Mother Gaia's energy on New Gaia, the energy I feel is like warmer. So our bodies are acclimating to a warmer climate. And then, wow, I never thought about it that way. And then also too, because I channel the galactic, and to me, the galactic feels very warm. It feels it feels kind of nurturing. Like when I connect to the galactic, they connect into my kundalini and they just ignite me. And I always feel them ignite into my heart and my kundalini and then out through Mother Gaia. So as you're allowing your transmission to happen within you, and you're allowing your ascension to happen within you, you are literally shifting and changing. And as you are doing your own awareness, you're walking out of one consciousness into another consciousness of you. Now, as you are talking about your stuff and you bring forth old stuff, you hold to those paradigms. So there has to be a done state, and ceremony is perfect for that. It's so amazing, because that happened within my family, and my daughter goes, I got to do a fire, and she's never asked me. And she asked me today, and she goes, I got to do a fire ceremony today, and that's what I'm doing tonight. She wants a fire ceremony, and she goes, I got to write down all my stuff, and I got to let it go. And she has never once in her entire life asked for a fire ceremony. But ceremonies is part of a natural law, because we are to be joyous in ceremony of our lives. And so that is actually a law. So when you do ceremonies, it shifts and changes, even if you don't realize what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing. When you're doing something and you bring your intention to it, shit happens. Shit moves along. So as we're breaking apart into the old paradigm of ourselves, it's going deep. It's hitting all the core stuff. That's all surfacing, that inner child stuff, that trauma. All of that is surfacing to be cleared and healed. And as many people are coming forward, to do attunements to get past that, because the attunements take you past, get you out of the way. The thing is that people run to all these healers, but it's you that has to do your potential work. And the problem is that you get in the way of yourself. So you hold yourself bound, and a lot of people come forward and they're like, I feel so stuck. I feel like I can't move along. I feel like my life's doing nothing. I just don't know what to do. That is a perfect time to tell you that you need an attunement. Your attunement when I do attunements, you meet New Gaia and you meet the Federation, and they move you along, which is mother and father. That's what they are. They're the mother and our father. They are from the universes. And so when you meet them, they get past all the layers of you and they take you to the spark of you, and then they move you along quickly. So when you are ready to do an attunement, you feel it at your heart. You're like, me and Vicky Crystalline need to talk. So it's time then, when you're feeling that it's time for you to move along. And you could do it more quickly. So as you're shifting and changing into a new version of you, and your senses are heightening, and you're allowing your presence to be, and you're bringing your attention every day, and you're being present, because that's a presence. Being present in your life, that's God's gift right there, because that's all there is the present moment right now. There truly is nothing else. And if you're in a state where you feel good in your body and you feel aligned, that's showing you, that's your body showing you that you're aligned with source. If you're feeling chaotic, you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling like you're drained, that's you out of balance with your source. That is always showing you, your body's always showing you, are you balanced with your own source? Are you not balanced with your own source? So as you are staying balanced with yourself, it is becoming more profound. And the amazing thing is what's happening in my life, because I stay so in tuned with myself, that is naturally happening, that my body knows how to acclimate those happening as soon as it starts feeling those emotions. And as you are allowing your experience to unfold, you will watch yourself, because what's happening for me is like I'm stepping away from my life, and it's more like a surreal feeling in my body, but it's like I'm seeing things for what they are, and I'm not having like triggers towards stuff. It's like I'm seeing it as in a movie state. And when I do this, it is literally showing me how people are doing their loops and how people are exactly where they need to be. And there's no judgment. It's just in allowing, everybody has a right to be where they're at, because everybody is playing their part to the whole. So everybody where they're at is exactly where they need to be at. And if you have a judgment, say somebody's in front of you and you're having a judgment about where they're at, that's your stuff. It's never their stuff. That's your stuff. So with this light workers and with anybody who discovers themselves, they want to instantly force their knowing onto other people, and that's just not the way. The way is to be the love within you, and then it radiates out you, and then things are brought back to you. That's the energy that is here and now. You do the inner work, you connect to the inner being of yourself, and then things start showing up for you. There is no pushing here, pulling, there's none of that here. So in New Gaia, you are shifting into a new way of working with yourself, because it is unfamiliar to us. We have forgotten, but we are remembering who we are as we're going back to our ancient ways. As you become your multiverse being, which there are many of us doing it. If you're watching me, you're returning to your multiverse being, and as you're doing that, you are tapping into your ancient self and also your future self. You are tapping into all of that is happening of you on all dimensions, and it is shifting and changing even in your own world on this physical plane. So because everything is merging. So say you are a light worker, you're merging to that light worker that you are in the future self, and you're a shaman in your past self. You are merging with that and bringing forth a new way, but we're merging the ancientness and the future self, and we're merging it for the time now, and we're making them fit into this perfect world that we're creating. And so we're creating New Gaia. Each of us are creating New Gaia here and now as you are waking up to your own experience, because you're doing it. Because you came here to do that. You didn't realize that you came here to do that. But as you're awakening to your own experience, you are realizing, wow, I'm way bigger than what I have been taught. I'm way bigger than what I have been programmed to believe. And then things just start showing up for you, and then you can start seeing your life unfold before you. It's like a domino effect. Everything just starts falling into place. So When things aren't falling into place, that's when you're in a place of, I would say, stuckness, and that's me too. I get in that place of stuckness, and it's mostly because you're trying to push to happen, you're trying to make it happen, and somehow you have let that flow go. So when you're blocking it and you're trying to, and I use this word trying, but when you say the word trying, that's where you hold your energy, because you're going to always be trying. So when you use the word trying, that's what you're always going to do. So when I use the word is I am unblocked. I am clear from this. I am free from this. And just in changing your words, because your words create your reality. Believe it or not, it does. Everything you say creates everything, especially once you say it enough and then you create an emotion to it, then it just bursts out of you. Just like that. And because the energies are happening faster, because we're creating faster, because the shift is happening faster, because more of us are lighting up. As that is all shifting into its paradigm, you're going to notice that everything is shifting on the exterior part of you. As you're shifting into the interior part of you, the exterior part of you is shifting. You're going to start seeing your world that you have seen every day the same. You're going to notice it different. It's going to show up different. Has to. Every part of it has to show up. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Jacqueline. I allow. I am ready. I am ready too. I am ready for all of this. So, Joanne. Hey, Aslan. Hey, everyone. Hey, Kendall. Joanne. So, Presley. So, as everybody is here and now, and as so, as my granddaughter's walking through, so allow this. So, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to allow Astron to come forward, who is the mother-in-law mothers from Mother Gaia. So, new Gaia is what I want to say, and right now I'm so hot, my body is just like steaming up. So, allow yourself to connect to the breath. The breath balances your energy. So, if you're not in a place of stillness that you can't be like free, just free your space right now. Free yourself right now. Free your being. And then we're going to do these 3 breaths together. We're going to interlock them to New Gaia. And then Astron will come forward and say, I allow. And it is so. One more time. One more time. Eselene kina aitaini te solone te selene. Asalene kine eteselene mo aitene. Esene mo etene. I, Astron, am present, and the beloved channel has stepped aside. We are aware who are here, who are watching. We see you. We feel you. As you are tapping into this frequency of you, you are feeling our energy. You are feeling yourself connect. You may feel pulsating through your lower quadrant, through your feet, and beyond. You may feel your crown expand and connect. The paradigms that are taking place now are shifting and changing you, yes, quickly, but also gently. When you are tapping into the new frequencies that are here and now, they are very gentle, just as this beloved species is bringing forward. All species are feeling this frequency here and now. You are shifting. Your bodies are feeling it. These beings, even the species, are feeling it. Your are becoming, in a way, more connected, more intertwined with your own beingness. Many of you who are allowing themselves to be the multiverse being of themselves are very entwined with all species of them. They are even noticing the species coming around them very easily and gently. For the species are part of them. They are the frequency of them. As you are aware, as this beloved channel has spoke, many are holding different frequencies to create the space for others to move along. Some are holding the space very intently so others can move along, not realizing the space that they are holding. And many may see these beings as dark, for they are holding the deep darkness of the, what you call, the 3D alive. They are holding the space and keeping it alive as the bridge is being bridged. And each of you, as you are growing into your awareness, you are tapping into your 3D being, into other beings of yourself that is held in other dimensional beings of your present self. What we are meaning is you are bridging the gap of your other dimensional selves into a oneness. And this is taking place in front of you. With this beloved channel, this is happening. She is shifting into all beings of her. And that's why all beings of her are connecting to her, as it is happening to all who are allowing the multiverse being of them to take place. This even happens with your plant life, or your flowers, or your growth plate, things that grow between you and your Mother Gaia, what you would call the things that grow in the ground. But there are many of you that are heightening into your sky plate, which is the birds, the galactic. There is many beings that are helping, that are assisting this exponential frequency shift into a different paradigm of you. For as you are shifting into a new paradigm of you, much is taking place. It is mostly to trust it and to believe it, for it is uncomfortable in a way. It is uncomfortable to be in places you are not aware of, not realizing that you have been here many times before. As you are returning to your multiverse being, or into any being that you are, because even the beings that are in the darkest states of themselves are even feeling the stirring of the shifting. Everyone is feeling that. Every species, everything is feeling that. Even us on this side of the realm, the non-physical, what you call it. We call it home. Even in the eons beyond here, they are feeling it. This is just not happening here on this physical plane. It is happening, what we would say, in limitless, through universes. This is all taking everything to a higher consciousness of everything. As the way showers are participating into their own experience, they are bringing forth a new light of themselves. It will show up. You will see this channel even shift and change before you. You are seeing this
even as you are tuning into her, you are feeling her more deeply, more lighter. You are noticing that she is balanced in her present state. As you are all allowing your balancing to happen inside your own present state, it will show up differently. As you are all going through your own dimensional selves of yourself, you will notice your experience being more lucid. What we mean is that it will feel more, how can we word this? Less unreal. There will be not so much of a realness to it. What we mean is you lock yourself into such a place of that this is the only way, the realness of that, that you will step away in a way and notice that it is not so much real, but it is a game of life, an adventure. For you are all having an adventure that you have had many times in many life beings ago. And you have even, as we are speaking now, there are future selves that are going through this also, as it is happening with this beloved channel's future self. There is an expansion where this earth plane at this very time, because everything happens at this very time, where there is a major shift in the world, in the futureness. The animals that are around us are feeling the beings that are here, for it is vast. They are very in tune with that. They are feeling the presence of that. You will notice more and more too in your physical being the vast presence around you. As you are more aware on the inner, you will be more aware on the outer. For everything is balancing into its formity. And you are all doing it. The bridge that is being built here, the Rainbow Bridge as we call it, for it is that. There has been beings that have come before us and said, I do not feel connected to the Rainbow Bridge. And that is perfect, for they are not ready yet. When they become ready, they will know it. It will be so non-existent in their experience that they will run to feel its full presence inside of them. Everything around you is a part of you. Everything. The species around you, the plants around you, the air around you. Everything around you is a part of you. The water you drink, the rainbows in the sky. So how could the rainbow not be a part of you? It is a part of Gaia, and you are a part of Gaia. All of you. Yes, you are all alien, but you are also a part of me as you are holding yourself in the physical form. As you are shifting and changing into a new version of you, much will be taking place. And we will bring that forward. You are ready, many of you. You can feel that. It makes your heart sing. We are in gratitude and we are in such honor for all of you participating in these, what we'd call dogmatic lives, for they see the hardness of them. And you are getting past that. You are growing and expanding past that. As you are moving into the lightness of you, you are noticing the hardness, things are shifting faster. You are not holding yourself bound there so long. It is not us doing it. We are showing you the way. It is you doing it. You are shifting this paradigm by being you, inside out, not outside in. As you are all coming forward in a new lightness of you, Even the radiance of light that is radiating out of your body frequencies are shifting and changing. They are not as they were before. If someone was to see your aura from an old paradigm and to see your aura now, it is more brilliant, vibrant, as you are allowing your light to penetrate into that. Your senses are more heightened and brilliant and vibrant also, as your body and your energy field is also. You are all shifting into a translucent being, into a different paradigm of you, which we call New Gaia, here and now. We are with you always, and those who are ready to be present with us, you are filling out your heart. You are ready for an attunement. You are feeling that. It is time. We are with you always. Adieu. Wow. Wow, my nose is itching. Wow, 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 wow. Hey, Edward. Hey, Bridget. I love you guys, man. I just love you. I love all of you. Chad, everyone, Bill, everyone right here, right now. I just feel Dylan. I just love you all. Tracy, thank you for all of your light. Thank you for all of your love. My body is like sweating from the inside out. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got this. We got this. We all got this. All of us got it. It's us doing it together in community, shifting and changing into the new paradigm. There isn't one part, there isn't one person that's not a part to the whole. And this is absolute. So, wow, thank you, Jack, and thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, amazing. Thank you. I just send love to all of you. I send love, and I just feel so honored and blessed for all of you and for all of the tribe that's coming together. And that's the amazing thing. I've been feeling my tribe just like connecting into, yeah. People are ready. People are ready. We're all ready. We're all ready. So I send love to all of you. Do you guys have any questions real fast? Let me sign off up here on YouTube. I send love to all of you. May you all be blessed.